Each year, over 60,000 students participate in ISSMA Solo and Ensemble festivals held at 46 different sites throughout the state. Although each site is unique, the experience for the participating students, directors, parents, adjudicators, and volunteers should be equally positive and educational. Please accept our sincerest thank you for your willingness to accept the responsibility of serving as the host for this event. The famous Chinese philosopher Confucius says, "A man who does not plan long ahead will find trouble at his door." Well, the not-so-famous ISSMA Executive Director says, "Don't let trouble come a-knocking at your door. Plan, plan, plan." We hope the following information will assist you with your planning and prevent unnecessary trouble at your door. Each of you were sent a host site contract, which provides a general outline as to what the host school is asked to provide. The contract also lists the expenses ISSMA agrees to pay. As per the contract, the host is asked to provide an on-site staff host, solo, small ensemble judges' rooms for performances, large ensemble judges' rooms for performances, adult door monitors, adult or student judges' assistants for each judge's rooms, student runners, warm-up rooms with adult supervision, pre-performance holding area with adult supervision, tables and adult workers for medals distribution, security, adult headquarters personnel and a state entry official, meals for all judges. In addition, hosts are asked to coordinate with ISSMA the use, tuning, and moving of school-owned pianos and ISSMA-owned keyboards. We will discuss this in greater detail, as well as the host's responsibility for the inventory of medals later in this presentation. As per the contract, with specific amounts found on the host accounting form, ISSMA provides a host stipend with the amount being determined by the number of judges' performance rooms, a host school stipend, which is also determined by the number of judges' performance rooms. Please note, the host school stipend includes all facility use and utility fees. No additional facility use charges are to be billed to ISSMA. Reimbursement for performance day meals for judges. This reimbursement includes lunch, light breakfast items, coffee, drinks, and snacks. ISSMA does not reimburse the cost of food for workers. Other expenses relating to postage, custodial services, duplication of schedules, security, piano rental, tuning, or moving must be documented on the host accounting form, and receipts must be sent to ISSMA prior to reimbursement. Any additional expenses must have prior approval of the ISSMA Executive Director. It is extremely important that each school hosting ISSMA Solo and Ensemble has assigned a member of their music faculty to serve as the host of this event. In addition to being present the day of the event, there are many items that must be taken care of days, weeks, and months in advance. Things the host should do months in advance. Early in the fall, you should begin to think about the rooms you will use for the event. Consideration should be given to the size of the room, the sound bleed between rooms, and the traffic flow in and out of the room, as well as the hallways. Determine the best location in the room for the keyboard, as well as the desk or table for the judge. It is never too early to have conversations with teachers about the use of their rooms. Develop a positive relationship with teachers outside the music department. The first conversation you have with a non-music staff person should never be the conversation about using their room. You will need their cooperation in clearing their desks for use by the judge and putting away all personal items. Assure them that the room will be supervised by an adult throughout the day, and every effort will be made to rearrange the room to be ready for class on Monday morning. Things to do mid-November. You will be sent a questionnaire asking about the keyboards you have available for use at your site. Requested information will include the quantity and quality of acoustic pianos, as well as the model and brand of electronic keyboards. Please note, a tuned piano in excellent working condition or an electronic keyboard with full-size weighted keys and a sustain pedal must be provided in every performance room. Acoustic pianos must be used in all piano performance rooms. Pianos or keyboards are not provided in warm-up rooms. To do late November, early December. ISSMA will ask you to recommend 3 respectable hotels in your area to be used by judges. If you have hosted an ISSMA solo and ensemble event in the past, please go to the ISSMA Academy and click on Adjudicators Resources, then District Solo and Ensemble Hotel Slide Information to verify the host and hotel information for your site. If you have changes or you are a new host, please send the hotel information in an email to Tama Ponkar at tponkar@issma.net. Once the ISSMA office has processed all solo and ensemble entries, you will receive an email with an estimate of the number of judges' rooms needed at your site. The rooms will be identified as solo small ensemble rooms, piano solo rooms, and large ensemble rooms. This is the time to make final decisions as to the rooms you will use as performance rooms, warm-up rooms, holding areas, and headquarters. When possible, rooms used for large ensembles should have 2 entrance doors, one to be used by the performers and another to be used by spectators. ISSMA will send an updated medal inventory identifying the number of medals to be shipped from Metalcraft Mint and the number of medals to be shipped from the ISSMA office. Included on this form will be the number of medals our records show you have in storage from the previous year. Please recount the medals and notify us immediately of any discrepancies. This is also the time to begin the process of securing workers for the event. We have found it best to schedule workers in no more than 2 shifts. Included in these workers will be event headquarters. You will need a minimum of 2 very responsible adults to assist in event headquarters. These workers must be given copies of the District Solo and Ensemble Headquarters online process instructions and have access to a computer with access to the host management area of the ISSMA website. As adjudication sheets are delivered by student runners, they will enter the ratings for each entry into the computer and place the score sheets in the appropriate school's envelope. This must be done continuously throughout the entire day. After all events for a school have been entered, including DNAs, headquarters personnel will assist directors with the checkout process, including the electronic submission of state entries. Medal tables. It is recommended that adults be assigned to work medal tables. Medal tables should be located to provide easy access by participating students. The number of medal tables would be determined by the number of performance rooms and the proximity of the rooms to the medal tables. The adults at a medal table should be able to provide directions to performance rooms, warm-up rooms, concessions, and restrooms. Door monitors. Adult door monitors are extremely important to the success of your event. They control the flow of students and spectators in and out of the room and are the main point of contact for most performers and parents. Many students will approach them with special performance requests, and while being accommodating to their requests, they must first honor the assigned performance times. These adults must be polite, flexible, yet firm. Door monitors also write each student's rating on the schedule outside the door. You will find it helpful if you can keep the same door monitor for the entire day, or at the very least, only assign them in 2 shifts. Warm-up room and holding area supervisors. The presence of adult supervisors in warm-up rooms and student holding areas will greatly reduce the possibility of inappropriate behavior from students. Most students participating in ISSMA solo and ensemble events are very respectful of facilities and of other students. However, as every school administrator will tell you, adult supervision in clear sight of students is the key to prevention. Judges' hospitality. As per the contract, ISSMA reimburses host for judges' meals, light breakfast items, coffee, drinks, and snacks. You will want to delegate this task to a responsible adult or committee, but you will need to give them guidance as to limitations to cost, number of judges to be fed, and the time food will need to be made available. You will also need to decide the location for the judges' hospitality. This area should be located away from students and directors and will be used for the judge's briefing at the beginning of the day. First aid. Although it's not required, it is helpful to have first aid available during your event. A school nurse, EMT, or parent who is a licensed nurse or EMT are often willing to volunteer their time or to work the event for a very small fee. Security and custodians. Arrangements will need to be made for security personnel and custodians. Your building administrator can assist you in knowing the process for scheduling security and custodians. We have found that one security officer and 2 custodians are typically enough unless you have a very large site of 20 or more rooms. Things to do mid-December. Prior to students leaving for a holiday break, you will want to get commitments from students to help with the event. In addition to music students, some schools have found its success from soliciting help from student council members, National Honor Society members, or ROTC members. Strong music students typically make excellent judges' assistants. They should be available to escort their judge to the performance room, keep plenty of sharpened pencils available, confirm the correct adjudication sheet and voucher card is being used, accept the music from the performer, and take the music and the medal card to the doorkeeper after the performance. In most cases, a judge's opinion of the host school is determined from the attitude and work ethic of these students. Like the door monitors, it is best if the judge's assistant can be assigned to work the entire day, or at the very least assigned in only 2 shifts. Dependable students will need to be assigned to be runners during the day. Their primary responsibility will be to pick up adjudication sheets from the doorkeepers and bring them to headquarters. They must be instructed not to let performing students, parents, teachers see or take these sheets. Runners may also be asked to assist with delivering drinks or snacks to a judge, or communicate to headquarters or the host that a judge is needing a rule clarification. Director and judge mailing packets need to be prepared the first full week of January. Refer to the sample documents previously provided to you and make all necessary revisions to create the documents you will need to include in the director's and judge's information packets. If you have not received the sample documents, they are also available in the new host management area of the ISSMA website, which we will discuss later. The director's packet should include a map to the school, diagram of the school with entrance doors and rooms being used clearly identified, a schedule with performance and warm-up rooms added, parking information, parent information letter, communication plan in case of an emergency weather situation, and any site-specific guidelines concerning equipment, facilities, and concessions. The judge's information packet should also include the map to the school, diagram of the school, with entrance doors, parking information, location and the time of the judge's briefing, emergency weather information, including an emergency contact phone number, preferably the host cell phone. Also, in early January, upon your return from the holiday break, you will receive a shipment of medals from Metalcraft Mint. Check the packing slip to be certain you have all the boxes shipped to you. If the packing slip lists 3 boxes shipped and you only have 2, check your mailroom and school personnel to try to locate any missing boxes. If you are unable to locate all of the boxes, contact the ISSMA office immediately and we will track the shipment. During this week, you will also receive a shipment from the ISSMA office. Again, check the packing slip to be certain you have all of the boxes. Follow the same procedure as above if you are missing any boxes. This shipment will include all materials you will need for the event. Within a day or 2 of receiving the boxes, check to verify that you have the correct number of each item as listed on the materials list. If you are missing any items, please contact the ISSMA office immediately. This is also the time to finalize worker assignments and confirm the appropriate arrangements have been made for security, custodians, and judges' rooms. Included with the shipment are registration entry forms from each school participating in the event. These forms will include directors' names, mailing addresses, phone numbers, and email addresses. You will need this information when sending the director's packet via regular mail or email. To assist you in preparing for the event, ISSMA has created a host management area to the ISSMA website. Your username and password will be sent to you via email. School entry forms will be available to view and print, and participant data, such as director email addresses, will be downloadable to Microsoft Excel. Sample letters and worker instructions will be available to download and edit. In addition, the host accounting form, judge vouchers, and other documents will be made available by logging into www.issma.net/hosts. The host management area will also be used by headquarters personnel the day of the event to enter ratings via the online process for each event. About 3 weeks prior to your event, use the materials sent from ISSMA and the site-specific documents you created earlier to finalize your director information packet. Include in this packet the ISSMA statement regarding discipline and the ISSMA Executive Committee, notice to directors, which is pink, and copies of the schedules. Please remember you will need to add room numbers and warm-up room numbers in the upper right-hand corner to each page of the schedule. If you're sending your packets to directors via regular mail, you will need to make copies of all documents except for the pink notice to director sheets. If you are sending your packet via email, you will need to scan each of the documents for inclusion in the packet. Please also send a copy of this packet to Tama Pankar at tpankar@issma.net. Within 2 days after receiving your judge contact information from ISSMA, you will need to complete your judge mailing packet. As soon as ISSMA has confirmed all the judges for your site, you will receive an email with a copy of the contact information for your judging panel. Please include this document and a copy of each judge's schedule, along with a map to the school, diagram of the school, entrance door and parking information, time, which will be 7:30 a.m., and location of the judge's briefing, emergency weather information, and the host's cell phone in case of an emergency to each of the judges assigned to your site. Send the packet to each judge via email or regular mail. Please also send a copy of this packet to Tama Pankar at tpankar@issma.net. Do not include judge briefing materials in this packet. It's now the week prior to your event. This is the time to verify your metal inventory. Check the metal inventory form with the metal shipped from Metalcraft Mint, the metal shipped from the ISSMA office, and metals left from the previous year. If there is a discrepancy, contact the ISSMA office immediately. 2 sets of labels have been provided to identify adjudication sheets and metal cards. It is extremely important to affix the label to the correct adjudication sheet. There are 4 different instrumental adjudication sheets and 3 different vocal piano sheets. Index cards used by the judge to identify the metal earned must also be labeled. Adjudication sheets and metal cards should be arranged in time sequence order and placed in each judge's room packet. Work with Henry Buckingham, Piano Solutions, and/or a local vendor to confirm delivery of all keyboards to be used for your event. Contact your piano tuner to confirm the exact date and time acoustic pianos will be tuned. This is also the time to schedule a worker meeting with the adults and students who will be assisting with the event, to explain their job responsibilities and to distribute written instructions. You will also want to assemble your judge room packets. Place the following items in the ISSMA-provided 10 by 15 manila envelope labeled with the judge name and judge number and distribute to the judges at the 7:30 a.m. briefing. Include labeled comment sheets in performance order, metal cards in performance order, Group 1 required list only if the judge is adjudicating Group 1 events, an updated room schedule, pay voucher, which is blue, the green rules and regulations sheet, judging process classifications, which is lavender, the judge summary sheet, which is green, the pink adult student interaction sheet, and at least 3 sharpened pencils. I would recommend one of those being a mechanical pencil. A few days prior to the event, any additions or revisions to a school's entry must be received by the ISSMA office by 4:30 p.m. on the Wednesday prior to your event. You will need to process these changes, make labels for adjudication sheets and metal cards, and mark the changes on the schedules provided to the judges and on the schedules to be posted outside each door. Refer to the additions, revisions procedures for solo and ensemble hosts documented in the host management area. Things to do on Friday night before the event. Room setup. Make a diagram of the room to ensure the room is rearranged after the event and is ready for students on Monday morning. Arrange the chairs and stands. Play test the keyboard. Check the location of the desk or table for the judge. Arrange the chairs for spectator seating as also. Post the updated schedule outside each performance room. Post additional signage to assist visitors in locating performance rooms, warm-up rooms, restrooms, medal tables, concessions, and headquarters. Set up headquarters with 2 computers with access to the internet, a designated place to lay out results envelopes for each school, and an area with a computer, if possible, for directors to use to verify ratings and submit state entries. Set up medal tables with chairs at locations convenient to the performers. Set up concessions, including signs and change. Review host guidelines and any last-minute emails sent from the ISSMA office. Things to do the day of the event. Check all areas being used for proper setup. Play test the keyboard and verify all signs are securely hung or mounted. Confirm the packet for each judge includes the updated schedule with all additions and revisions, pencils, judge briefing materials, and take to the judge briefing room to be distributed to the judges. At the judge briefing, collect vouchers and any hotel receipts from the judges. Although the head judge will conduct the briefing, you should communicate any site-specific information. If a judge is missing, immediately contact Mick Bridgewater or Mark Middleton for a missing instrumental judge or Scott Bradford for a missing vocal or piano judge. Be prepared to help find a last-minute replacement judge in your area that might be attending your event. Have judge assistants meet with their judge at the end of the briefing and escort them to their assigned room. Walk the hall and confirm that all workers are in place and following instructions. Check schedules posted outside each room to confirm door monitors are making ratings with a G for gold, S for silver, B for bronze, and PART for participation. Remind door monitors to mark DNAs confirmed by a director on the posted schedule and to notify the judge's assistants in the room. Return to headquarters and check that proper procedures are being followed, including state entries. Things to do during the event. Rules violations. One of your responsibilities during the event will be to investigate and confirm any potential rules violations or penalties. If a situation or concern is brought to your attention by a judge or by one of your workers, first consult the rules found on pages 18 through 21 in the ISSMA Music Festival's manual and the guidelines found in the judge briefing materials. If a rule does not have a specific penalty listed, then the general penalty would be 1 division rating lower. If a penalty is to be given, it must be marked on the adjudication sheet and documented by the judge. If a situation occurs where there is no clear-cut answer, or you are not comfortable rendering a decision, contact Mick Bridgewater or Mark Middleton if instrumental, or Scott Bradford if vocal and piano, to get additional input and guidance prior to assessing the penalty. Things to do on Monday after the event. Use the next day envelope sent with the materials from ISSMA to send the following. Any state entry payments made in person via a director, booster, or school check or school purchase order with the identification number provided during the entry process written on the check or purchase order. The completed state entry form with only the in-person payments listed. All judge vouchers and receipts from the judges. If you ran out of any medals, please also include the medal shortage form. Within 1 week after the event, use any appropriate shipping method to send the following to the ISSMA office. Take a final count of the medals you had left at the end of your event and complete the host medal inventory form. Complete the host section of the green judge summary sheet and return with this shipment. Return all unused adjudication sheets. If any of the sheets were mistakenly signed by a judge, please destroy those sheets. Return all Group 1 required list manuals. Within 30 days after the event, use any appropriate shipping method to send the following to the ISSMA office. Your completed host accounting form, all receipts for expenses to be reimbursed. Any invoices you might have for security, custodians, piano expenses that need to be paid directly by ISSMA. Things to do, March or April. The upcoming year's calendar of events is presented to the ISSMA State Board at their November meeting and will be posted on the ISSMA website. Check the calendar for the dates for your event and reserve the date including the weather date with your administration. Upon receiving the contract from ISSMA, sign the contract, ask your school's administrator to sign the contract, and return the signed contract to ISSMA. Thank you for completing the Solo and Ensemble Host Training. We hope you have found the training helpful, and as a result of your planning, no trouble will come a-knocking at your door.